Okay, amore. Today it is 25 weeks and 4 days. How many days we have in hospital?
Guys, I've officially been in the hospital for 21 days.
What you want to tell for your man? No, no, because we need to talk about one thing. 21 days sounds easy, but it's not easy. And then you have some days really, really low. Can you explain everybody what it means to stay here for 21 days? Start from the beginning. I know there's a lot of things.
It's hard to. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. The first 5 days, I was running on adrenaline and stress because of being in the hospital, getting a scary diagnosis, everybody coming in to talk to you, the doctors come in, you spend a long time talking to each one of them, getting their diagnosis, their opinions, and their recommendations. No sleep, you're just running on fumes.
Yeah.
And I feel like those first 5 days were one long day. After that, it was like a crash, adrenaline crash. I was super exhausted. Things kind of calmed down because I wasn't having that first bleed anymore. They were, kind of just monitoring me. I was stable. So there was less going on and I felt exhausted. And then that was when my mother had to say, is there any way we can let her sleep in the night? Because going for 13 weeks potentially in the hospital, being constantly woken up is not going to be sustainable long term. After that, I will say my hardest time so far was starting week 2 up until about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So 2.5 weeks. And I did read, and again, I read a couple articles, who knows if it's true or not. But when they look at people in the hospital long term, I was pretty much following almost exactly the breakdown of timing, in the fact that 1.5 to 2 weeks is when you see a big decline in people's mental health.
Yeah.
I was just feeling a lot of things. And a lot of people have said in the comments, one of two things. Either, are you okay mentally? Are you struggling mentally? Can we do anything to help you? And the other one was, you're still so joyful given the circumstance. Because I have always tried to be very positive and joyful in all of our endometriosis videos and IVF videos and everything. I'm going to be honest and say that this situation is a lot harder.
You're not in the bed and sick, right?
Right. So technically, I'm here for potential bleeding problems. And with placenta previa and placenta accreta, the risk for a sudden hemorrhage is there. So that's why I'm here. I'm not, I'm not having to take daily IVs or all these things and in the bed stuck all the time. So it's hard mentally because you feel normal. I feel like I shouldn't be here. I feel like I should be at home. I understand why I'm here. But mentally, my brain is like, we're fine. Why does everybody keep coming in here and checking in on us? Then you have the other side of it too, where everybody on the staff and the team, they need to be checking on you to make sure you're stable. They need to make sure that you're not having anything going on that might be missed.
Yes.
But that means constant interruptions.
No sleeping, no taking naps.
Not sleeping at all. I will say the first few days were the worst because they took vitals in the middle of the night. Breakfast would come at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then, I'd have to take my medication for thyroid. And I take an anti-nausea for pregnancy. That was at 5, and then at 6, and then 7 was the shift change. So then new nurses would come in and do vitals and do their checks. And then it just kept going.
Monitoring the baby.
Then 8 o'clock monitoring the baby. Then after that, the regular OBs would come in. Then the high-risk doctors would come in. And then
it's lunch at 11.
Then you got lunch served at 11 o'clock.
Cleaning the room.
Exactly.
Some people come in just for fixing stuff.
Yeah, maintenance stuff. You never know what's happening. So it's every 45 minutes minimum, somebody's coming in the room. And you are on high alert because you are supposed to be watching for any symptoms popping up. So already your brain and body are on
high, yeah.
Scanning everything that's going on. Already terrified about the situation, of course. Why wouldn't I be? And then all of this stuff at the same time. And it was a big recipe for me to have a little struggling time at around the 2 week mark, and I just felt like I can't sustain this level of.
You almost told me, bring me home.
Almost. I didn't want to because I know like the dangers of it, but I feel like also long-term stress and lack of sleep is also a bad thing.
Especially when then you see the calendar and you see another 90 days here, so you know that even a third, you know that
There's 90?
no, well, it is now 90. It was in the beginning 3 months, but then we go into 2 months and a half.
Yeah.
So it is 60, almost 80. So don't count down like that. But we were just 20. And you say, okay, I had 20. Okay, but you still have another 2 months and 4 days for stay here. And then you already arrive at this breaking down a little bit.
And
it is not easy.
It doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter how many beautiful crafts that my amore and my visitors bring me and how many things I try and distract myself with. When it's coming every hour on the hour, you can't mentally escape from it. Like, there's no break from the situation. There's no way. Like I was telling Alessio, if I was at home, I wouldn't probably be constantly thinking, is that blood? Am I bleeding? Even though I will say with the anxiety I had coming off of IVF and we had a miscarriage early on in pregnancy, and my first pregnancy, I was already doing that, kind of like, every time I go to the bathroom, checking the situation.
But now it is extra because other people want to see.
Yeah.
Because it's not just private, they want to know, so your brain is focusing if I'm bleeding or not.
So it's just very hard to detach from that here, because you feel like a patient when you might not necessarily be like sick or anything.
And I noticed one thing here. We have a big ice situation. I was cannot come here to the hospital, and then I would see my amore falling down like, and we were supposed to try to wait because everything the ice was melted before I come back. I said, no way, I'm not gonna leave her in these conditions. So I take the car. She tell me, no, stay home. I said, go. I need to go because we need to put it back up the morale, the moral. I don't know how you say it.
Morals.
The moral. So I said, no way, morale. So I go drive, safety, but I need to come here, and now I see her a little bit better.
I'm better with you here.
I'm better. So I'm happy because I know if you have company, all that situation can take you down easy. My amore have fears. And when you are alone and you are in this environment in a room, your brain starts thinking too much. Amore, if you're comfortable, what is the biggest fears you have? Okay, maybe.
Okay, yeah, it's just hard to talk about because they're my real fears, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, one fear it is like all this can go wrong.
Yeah, that's the biggest fear. I mean, we're not only in a situation where the baby is in danger or I'm in danger, we're both in a situation of danger.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can read all the positive stories that you want to, but at the same time, that's still there and it's still a real thing that I'm having to face. And then obviously I want to stay stable in here as long as possible to give him time to develop to a safe place. But at the same time, I can't relax because I know that in order to get out of this situation, I'm gonna have to face a very potentially scary surgery.
Yes.
And that's really hard for me. Like if you just told me, just sit here and...
So we have a visit, so like we was talking about before, so...
Yeah, so I think I was saying, if you just told me to sit here for 10 weeks and you know, do crochet and crafts and whatever, and maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but I can't do that because I know that I have to hit that final battle.
Yeah.
And it's very weighing on me every single day.
Yeah. So about this, because you're thinking about what could be the outcome, like the future, this not make you rest constantly. Your brain is thinking what can happen later on. You are a little bit, I don't want to say stressed out. How you say?
I'm stressed.
Yeah, stressed. Okay,
I'll
what's
be
the correct?
honest.
No,
I'm
the
just on
correct word.
edge.
In the edge.
Like,
that
I'm
was.
always on edge. Like, I feel like I'm always watching for danger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like
Other fears.
fears. I mean, that's the biggest fear, that me and baby wouldn't make it out of this situation.
Yeah.
That's the biggest real fear that I can give to you guys. And
for how easy it is, guys, like you say, oh, Jessi gonna go, everything gonna go well. Yes, it's gonna go well, but it's not like that easy to say to your brain everything go well, correct?
that's the thing. Like, if I was talking to somebody else in my situation, I would say the same thing to them. Like, I understand it, because you're like, oh, like, you just focus on the positive, just, you know, continue to pray and visualize, like, all those things. But until you're actually in the situation where you're literally having to think about it constantly, all day, every day,
The fact that you're here in the room is not easy. So that's why it's really important to try to make this process, don't think about too much. It is what always I recommend. Sometimes I don't know if it's a doctor watching this video. I don't know. I always said, less you talking about the problem, better it is. Because
Alessio's been asking them to not always come and ask me like this list of symptoms. Instead, just like come in,
say, hey, how are you? Anything?
Yeah. And then obviously, if I have something, I'm gonna tell them, because that's why I'm here, and I don't want to sit with something dangerous. So, and I'm probably overdoing it, like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit weird here, this or that. But like Alessio's trying to say, if you can avoid constantly reminding
it is happening,
that this is what you're watching for. Like, I know if I have bleeding, to tell them. If I have cramping, to tell them. But if every hour someone's coming in, do you have any bleeding? It's the same little questions every time. But that is just constantly circling in your brain, in your mind.
So for the husbands out there, in my opinion, it is really important to sleep, okay, in these circumstances, in a hospital. One of the two about the team need to be clear. So when I go home, I try to sleep, okay, because when I go to the car, I drive to the hospital, I say myself, today nobody gonna mess up with me, okay? Do you know why? Because sometimes you are so tired, and then you have overwhelming for the situation, and then you just say yes, anything or whatever. But if it is with the mind clear, can say, hey, no, we don't need to do this. Hey, please, can we not have visits? Or you need to keep up and see. I always try to see how Jessi is looking like. And then if I see that she's not my amore, I need to say, hey, I need to step up there and say my opinions, right, amore?
Yeah,
so
he's been very helpful.
From all the husbands, don't just come here and go home. Always be in. Always be in.
This is the first time, though, that I feel like I've really struggled to remain joyful and positive.
But I need to say, you are always joyful, strong, everything, because it's not an easy situation, and you are really, really strong. You try to do everything for protect the baby. Right now, we are almost 26 weeks. Let's keep going like this. It is, in my opinion, it's good that you here, because upside is knowing if you have emergency, whatever. But don't worry, days are going fast, especially when you have fun. She's doing the Legos. This is the update about the Legos. We play Uno. She lost today really bad, so that's why you can see sometimes Jessi more extra sad, but it's okay. It's okay. I need to let her winning, because I know majority is my fault.
I know that you're cheating. I just haven't figured out how yet.
All right. So this is the update from how you feeling in hospital. It's not easy, ragazzi. Really, really not easy. It's a lot of times get sad and crying, but we go through this. We have 21 days. So let's keep going and fight for this baby, and that's it. So to the next, ragazzi.